not tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome, mate. What up, Heavyweights Live, Woodsports.com. I'm Easy, joined by Spinmo Raxter.
What up, though?
Nicholas Kohloff. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream, smash that like button, and let's get into it. The Detroit Tigers are red hot. We're obviously talking about that. It's kind of insane. It kind of a little bit of a question. Is it the wrong time? Like I prefer being hot at the end of the season.
I like being hot all season.
That's fair.
And they're getting hotter. It's
crazy.
You got your big
man.
boys waking up with Colt Keith and Riley Green really turning it around at the plate. Both of them have been raking. You got Vierling starting his rehab in Toledo, so getting a guy that was the second best bat in your lineup last year back is definitely going to help. So, still getting production from Avi and from Zach McKinstry, which you didn't expect. The offense is looking good, and it's showing no signs of slowing down.
Yeah, I guess that's a part where it makes it feel more legit because everybody's contributing in pockets, and not everyone's hot right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess right now probably the closest to it, where everybody's raking.
hot. They have, 13 home runs in a 4-game series?
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
I don't know. I guess I just get weirded out by it, you know? It's amazing. It's amazing. But if you want to win a World Series in a day,
and what you win the World Series at the end of the day with is pitching, and that's what you don't have to worry about. Is the pitching is going to stay hot. If these guys stay healthy, we know how nasty they are. Obviously, they have the best starting rotation in baseball. They have a top 3 bullpen in baseball, and they're only getting healthier. They're shipping out dead weight like Kenta Maeda, and they're bringing in guys that are actually worth the shit out of that bullpen. Canely has been one of the best relievers in the MLB so far this year. Will Vest has been one of the best relievers so far this year. You got Brisky finally coming back. Gunther's still in AAA. Like the arms run deep in the Detroit Tigers, and these are a lot of guys. That's what carries you through a long season. Offense is going to come and go for the majority of the year, especially when you don't have the upper echelon talent like the Tigers. But pitching will always be there, and when this pitching is healthy, they are going to be the best in baseball.
Who was my man on the Angels who was like slinging it? It was like a sidearm, like almost like an underarm like throw. It was fucking gross.
Yeah, it's a weird arm slot for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
My dad said he used to pitch like that.
Dude, it was trippy.
Submariner.
I couldn't tell.
He's got maybe 5 years in the league until his elbows explode.
For sure.
Yeah.
Elbow. Maybe
the kind of whip you get on your arm, like if you watch a Submariner like slow motion, it's gross. It looks like his arm's gonna explode.
Gross. Official Detroit Tigers beat reporter, making 2 million impressions on social media. How you feeling, man?
I mean, to me, this validates the special run that they went on last season when they started doing it with pitching chaos. Now you're seeing AJ completely reshape the lineup night in and night out, and you're getting production from everywhere. Nobody expected Javier Baez to do this. Nobody expected our catching to be hitting the way it is with Dylan Dingler out there hitting 300. Even Neto
gets hits, dude.
Neto rakes.
He does.
He rakes. He can hit.
He does.
So you're getting those two guys, and then
he hits fucking
you get a
bullets,
6 RBI game from the guy in Trey Sweeney.
That was nuts.
When everybody's thinking, oh, wait, Trey might be the odd guy out.
Yeah.
Nope, not a chance. Can't send him down now. He has a higher OPS than Colt Keith right now, who's now getting hot as well. And then you think about, we're getting Matt Vierling back, and Matt Vierling's going to come up, and sorry to say it, Chase Young, you're going down, buddy. Get to learn Toledo. He's just going to have to work on his swing again. He's going to have to figure it out. He does not look like he can handle big league pitching right now.
Yeah.
And we are at the point, this isn't a daycare anymore. And it's great to finally be here. We have players that are ready to come up, and when they get back from injury, they can produce on this team like a Matt Vierling, one of your top 5 bats of last season, like your Parker Meadows, maybe at the end of the month, borderline June. We'll see how he rehabs and whatnot, but it's so great to see. This team is firing on all cylinders. They lose a heartbreaker. You can't hit Kyle Hendricks. Horrible. But you bounce back with 13 the next day?
That was
13.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this team does now. Like, they don't let it spiral. You saw 2 in Houston, bounce back, kick the shit out of them game 3.
Yeah, and I saw Justin had a good stat. He said last year the Tigers had 2 guys in their lineup with over 800 OPS against lefties. This year they've already got 6. Obviously, it's still a long season, but they're seeing lefties better. They're hitting lefties better. And like I said, getting the kind of offense that you were to begin this season without Riley Green and Colt Keith really contributing all that much was impressive. And now that Riley Green and Colt Keith are starting to turn it around and they're starting to hit everything, you love to see that. And Vierling back will help. Wenzel Perez coming back. I expect Wenzel Perez back before Parker Meadows. But, I mean, you can't even really make you can't make a guess on Parker Meadows. His could be tomorrow, could be never this year. So it's crazy. But
it's a nerve. It's like
it's weird. It's just
bones,
literally he could be done for his career or he could be back tomorrow.
Really.
You never know.
But he is progressing through some of his things.
Yeah.
Through his progressions that the medical staff has updated. I've seen him on the field. He is taking fly balls. Like, that's the things that
don't
we
need
do
to
know.
take fly balls when you got Javi in center field.
Yeah. I mean, Robin Homers, Willie Mays Hayes.
Dude, the guy...
It's unbelievable.
I brainwashed myself into liking him, and it looks like I was right because Javi's back. The aura he brings to this team is impressive, man. He's playing at a borderline all-star level right now. Do I expect him to hit 300 all year? No, probably not. But everything you're getting from him is a plus, and he's playing plus defense. He has the highest WAR on the Tigers right now. Like,
Crazy.
Javi Baez has the highest WAR on the team.
That's fucking crazy.
And it's just...
I mean, defensively, I guess it makes sense.
Defensively, he's
dog.
great at third base. He's been great in center field, and obviously we know he plays the best shortstop on
Is
the
that
team
a mystery?
too.
Like, can you shit on the WAR stat with that at all?
No, because he's playing really well this year.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the most important reasons why the Tigers are in first place in the American League.
Just 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Knocking him out of the park.
Yep.
The thing with Javi is... obvious, this is so crazy right now because it's so different than anything we've ever seen with him as a Tiger uniform. But the reason I believe it can be, and God, I'm going to say it will be sustainable, is because he's not chasing those outside sliders like we've seen him do his whole entire career.
Seeing the zone very well.
He is seeing the pitches. And if it is on the lower outside corner of the zone, he is just flicking that thing to left field.
Yeah.
But if it's way further outside, he's laying off. And those are pitches that he couldn't take to save his life his first 3 seasons as a Detroit Tiger. You're seeing it now for the first time ever. And that's why I think it is sustainable for Javier Baez to at least be a productive player throughout the whole season.
And that's allowing
cerebral changes.
That's allowing him to hit the fastball better, too.
Yeah.
We see him turning on fastballs and obviously hitting 3 home runs in his last couple games because he's seeing the zone so well and he's not swinging at those pitches 2 feet off the plate that when he knows it's in his wheelhouse, he's been turning on some fastballs. We haven't seen him do that in a couple years. So, it's like, I made the call. I was saying 230. And everybody was calling me crazy. I said Javi Baez is going to hit 230 or 260 or whatever it was. Everybody's calling me
literally
crazy.
texted me after we put out that clip on Instagram. He was like, "Don't put me on Instagram anymore."
Who?
Because they kind of it was like
Javi stuff.
And I thought it was a clickbait headline at the time because it was like bold proclamation on Javi Baez.
Which it was.
Which it kind of was, but saying a bold proclamation was 230 and now he's hitting 300. Like Braylon said he'd hit 300. I was like, that's ridiculous. He's there right now. It's a long season, like I said, but I like what I'm seeing out of him. The guys are happy for him. You can tell the clubhouse is really happy for him because everybody likes watching him play baseball.
Yeah.
You know what? I was watching. I'm telling you, I'm in. I'm all in on Javi Baez. And I was watching some highlights of him the other day, and when he hit that walk-off single or the double in the playoff game, and he hit the fucking sweep with the bat, he hit the sweep, dude. That's one of the best pimp jobs ever, and it wasn't even a home run. Like, if that's the Javi Baez you're getting with that aura, that helps, especially in a long season.
Chris, did you grab that graphic from Justin in Slack at all by chance?
I did, about the lineup.
Yeah, like who can make the All-Star
yes.
game? Because I really want him to, because I want to hear the comeback story. I want to hear what it was. The shit talk? Like what was it that changed for him?
I think
and who helped him do it?
I think it's just AJ Hinch helping him buy in. AJ Hinch and
See what
Scott
the team
Harris
did last year?
Really seeing what the team did last year.
Yes, that's a big one.
Him buying in, knowing that like they're going to bench me if I'm not good enough. And this was, Justin put out the Tigers All-Stars, who he thinks is going to make it. He has the locks being Skubal, Green, Carp, Canely, and Torque. And then on fringe, he's got Will. I would say Will Vest is more of a lock than Torque. Mize, Torres, Olsen, and Javi Baez. I look at
Dingler possibly in that.
Dingler is tough because they normally only have 2 catchers.
Cal Raleig's
raking. Raleig's the starter.
Yeah, he is,
no matter
for
what.
sure.
So then you look at Would Salvi make it name value over Dingler? Probably.
If that guy's hitting 300 on the best team in the AL, I think he's in there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Playing a stellar defense.
He's not going to be the starter.
Yeah,
so he'll have to get voted in. And is the average
We'll see if Detroit shows up compared to the Yankees fans. I mean,
is the
Austin
average baseball
Wells.
fan going to vote for Dylan Dingler?
Good point. Good point.
No. Love Dylan Dingler.
But he should. He's playing at an all-star level.
Taking
nothing away from him. He has been amazing. And behind the plate, he has like some of the best stats when it comes to assisted outs and different things like that. And obviously his cannon, he's got that howitzer attached to his arm. But yeah, it's great to see. Tigers are fun to watch, man. They're proving me wrong with this offense, and I did not expect this at all. So hopefully they continue to do it. They're the best team in the American League right now. We got a super chat in there from Michael DeVries. He says, the fun thing about this Tigers team is that they're never out of the game. Absolutely.
The gritty Tigs, man.
And they are, they're doing it. I know it's wild to say this, but like they're doing it the right way. They're doing it how you have to play offense in the MLB nowadays, where they're hitting home runs and they're taking third base on singles. They have more runners going first to third they have the most runners going first to third in the MLB this year. It's them and Houston are tied for first. So guys getting from first to third on a single, that sets your offense up for success. And then they're like top 5 in the MLB in home runs, and I believe top 5 in OPS. So they are hitting the ball hard, and they are hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and they're taking the extra base offensively, which does so much for your offense. It keeps that flow going. It's amazing to see this team the way they're playing right now. Everybody is locked in. Everybody's dialed in. You're not seeing anybody go out there and look outmatched in these at-bats outside of like Jace Young and Kryler. Kryler's gone. Yeah. But yeah, when Vierling comes up, it's probably going to be Jace Young. Could be Malloy, but probably Jace Young that goes down. And that's just another professional hitter you're bringing in that you can put in the top or the bottom of the lineup, and he's going to hit you, 260 and get on base for you. So
Chris Ilitch is literally the Homelander meme, where he's just like, he kills the guy, and he's like, everyone's clapping. He's like, yeah, I meant to do that. Mm-hmm. That's literally Chris.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work. No. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought this team was not going to be able to score runs. And because Zach McKinstry is top 10 in the MLB in on-base percentage, because Javi Baez leads the team in WAR, Spencer Torkelson
third in MLB in home runs,
has an insane OPS. They're proving me wrong, and I fucking love it. I love every minute of it.
Casey Mize.
Yeah.
It looks like a top of the rotation arm. Every time out, I feel confident. I'm pretty sure he's 5-1. 5-1 right now already.
I didn't expect the year of the I'm back for all three of them to be back.
Yeah.
Like Mize, Javi, and remember we talked about who's the most I'm back in the summer of I'm backs with Mize, Javi, and Torque, and all three of them. It's fucking
I'll treat them, boys.
Before the season, I picked them. I was a little more optimistic because I didn't want to go into this thinking it's going to be a stinker. I wanted to buy into the magic of last season. I said, got a little faith in Torque and Mize here, but I had never had any faith in Javier Baez to do what he's doing. Yeah. This is one of the biggest turnarounds in MLB history. This is insane.
He was the worst player in baseball for 2 years in a row.
Exactly, and now he's leading the AL division, AL conference leader in WAR for the Tigers. Chris, could you play these stats just real quick? This is how good the Detroit Tigers have been this year. Check it out on Twitter. Microwave
first in ERA. They're first in the AL in ERA. They're fifth in the MLB in home runs, fifth in the MLB in batting average, and sixth in OPS. Yeah, they've been mashing, dude. Mashing. And there's more to that. It's not just these guys. Everybody in the Tigers organization is mashing right now. Chris, put up one of the two tweets. Either one, and I'll read it. It doesn't matter, but this is from Emily Walden. This is on Bryce Rayner. His last 9 games in A-ball. He's 8 of 9, 3 multi-hit games, 3 doubles, 5 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 9 RBIs. And I swear to God, his average exit velocity has been like 97 miles an hour. He is hitting everything hard and everything to a hole. And then the man, the myth, the legend himself, Max Clark, who is going to be fast-tracked to being in AA. He'll be in AA by July. He is just exploding from where he was last year. OPS almost 100 points higher than what it was at this point last year. The slugging percentage is up and the batting average is up about 70 points. The guy is just mashing. He's ready to go. He'll be in Double-A by July.
What is
Rayner
it
and Max Clark
for those guys when they're going through the developmental stage? Are they just seeing the ball better? Like, what are you like?
Yeah, you're getting better. You're every step of the way. You're getting better competition, bigger, stronger guys. So the ball's coming in faster. There's more movement, and it's better pitches and better players. So you have to adjust to that.
Better
and
defense.
All of them, better defense too. You're not finding, guys aren't dropping
pizza, Papa
singles
John's.
and stuff like that. So you have to adjust to it, and both of them have the entire long as well as McGonigal. So this Tigers team, from Riley Green to the last prospect, are all performing very well, man. It's a great time to be a Tigers fan because right now they're the best team in the American League, and they have the best farm system in the MLB, and all of these guys are improving at rapid paces. It's crazy. Like, Scott Harris has turned this franchise around.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how the Pistons turnaround was so great. This is, if you extend it like, a season and a half to where they were last year to now being, legitimately thrown in title contention and World Series contention. Are you going to see, though, this team reflected, and maybe Justin's graphic is indication of that, where this Tigers team is getting multiple home runs because they are kind of the story of baseball right now?
If they have the best record in the American League, they will have multiple starting All-Stars. Like that's what happens. You remember the Orioles last year? They had like 6 All-Stars.
Yeah.
So if the Tigers have the best record in the American League at the break, they're going to have at least 4 All-Stars.
What up, Nick?
Real quick before we dive too far away from what Bryce Rayner's doing, he has an 821 OPS in Lakeland. That's single A. Max Clark had a 773.
Yeah.
So he has a 50-point higher OPS than what Max Clark was doing. Bryce Rayner's 19.
They just drafted.
He's a shortstop. This dude is smashing baseballs, and he's doing it oppo with all of this power. If he's pulling the ball, it's going to look like Riley Green's home runs that we've seen him just absolutely nuke. And, fellas, Riley Green's back looking like a soon-to-be superstar.
He is hitting everything hard, and I'm seeing it in, like, the Tigers ML report, like our guy Rogelio and everything that they post. I feel like every day they post a clip, and it's like, oh, here's a sharp single from Bryce Rayner, 113 miles off the bat. Oh, here's a rope double from Bryce Rayner, 108 miles off the bat. Oh, here's a 410-foot home run from Bryce Rayner, 110 miles an hour off the bat.
Fast track him to Double-A?
He is going to be a Double-A probably by the end of the season. The guy is fucking mashing right now, dude. He's hitting everything. It's crazy.
It's bold. I wish. I just don't know. They don't like fast tracking.
They should move up.
If you do numbers like that, though, that's kind of ridiculous.
They should move Max Clark up to Double-A and move Bryce Rayner up to High A by July, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be sick to see it by June, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they keep doing this, I mean, I don't know what else
they have Junes like they're having right now, I think they move Max to Double-A.
What about Mays?
If
they have Mays, like this whole month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're still May. Yeah, you have May and June like they are right now, like they had April's.
Yep.
You'll see Max in Double-A, and you'll see Bryce move up to High
A. Speaking of moving on up, if you guys are looking to purchase a home right now, hit up my guy Mark White because he can sell you your home and save you up to $5,000 on the closing costs of said home. All you gotta do is give him a call at 248-290-8242 or visit him at markwhitesells.com. That's 248-290-8242 or visit him at markwhitesells.com.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you will. We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card and get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, joined by Small Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Kohloff. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream, smash that like button. We got a super chat from Bernie. Says, what's scary is this Tigers team has been built from the ground up like those Astro teams. We don't even need trash cans. We got bone saw.
Yeah, like I said, the depth of this lineup is so impressive. When you look at, especially now with Riley Green and Colt Keith really swinging the bats pretty well, then the extra production you get from McKinstry and from Baez isn't the only thing that's fueling your lineup. Now you have Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Torkelson, and Colt Keith all hitting the ball very well in the meat of your order. And Torres is, dude, you have so many quality hitters in this lineup right now. The way this team is seeing the ball, it's crazy.
Speaking of just Torres real quick, just the
it makes no sense.
He's in and out, and we're still breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think about some of the top teams in the AL, I mean, obviously the Mariners are hot right now as well.
Yep.
But I think about Mariners, the Astros, the Yankees. I think the Red Sox are going to be there end of the day if they can get some pitching. But I think about the Tigers and the Guardians. But one of those teams that got, pretty well picked apart was the Yankees. And they got picked apart by Scott Harris. What a smooth, shrewd move by getting in Gleyber Torres on a 1-year prove-it deal and Tommy Kahnle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Two quality pieces that helped that team get to the World Series, and you brought them to your team that was a few outs away from the ALCS. Great move by Scott Harris. I know I personally have had a lot of words to say about him in the past, but that was a very underrated offseason by the Detroit Tigers. What has been your favorite part about those two players, Spenmo and Easy?
Tommy Kahnle.
Kahnle for me.
He's an assassin. I loved the deal when it was made. The guy is nasty. And so when you can get a guy like that you know is going to be absolutely shut down in the later innings of games, nobody expected your offense to be like this. You didn't expect it to be blowing teams out. So you get a guy like Tommy Kahnle, so that way when your starting pitching is doing well and your middle relief is some of the best in baseball, when you get to the 8th or 9th inning with a lead, you know you have a demon like that coming out of your bullpen, and he's going to hold that lead. The same with Will Vest. So having two guys like that absolutely slam the door is so important for these teams, especially if this offense starts to slow down a little bit, because you won't need the 7-run leads. You won't need the 13-1 blowouts, because the back end of your bullpen is so rock solid. When you have a 1 or 2-run lead, you feel extremely comfortable having Will Vest in the 8th and then Tommy Kahnle in the 9th, if that's what it comes down to.
He's as cool as a cucumber. How many times has he been asked, and thank God no longer, to clean up Maeda's mess? He just comes in, fucking cleans out, guys on base and everything. I fucking love Tommy Kahnle. That was a brilliant move by Scott Harris. And yeah, you made a phenomenal point, Nick. Yeah, those are guys that are part of a World Series team. Like the Gleyber Torres stuff, his motivation, he felt disrespected that he didn't want him back anymore. And now he's here, free-flowing, got the beard he wasn't allowed to have in New York.
Yep.
Like, I'm here for it, man. And
playing with Javi, dude.
Just another piece that, again, the reason why I think somebody said, I think it's Cody Harper in the Woodward Sports chat, was like,
bringing out the best of him.
Neil talk. He is. He kind of is. Maybe
that's why I kind of want. I really want to see those two up the middle, dude. I feel like we'd see some nasty
get a little seasoning in there.
Yeah, see some nasty. Too many white boys on the infield for the Titans.
They're playing the right way. And you still got Meadows who could.
We got two of the best Watts are still injured. We got Bierling and Meadows coming back.
I guess that's what I'll say to Cody Harper's point where he said Neil talking World Series is crazy, which I want to give Nick credit, because I think Nick was talking World Series even before then, and he felt ashamed of it. But maybe now not so much. The reason why it's not is that these guys are giving you work in spurts.
Yeah.
Like right now is the biggest stretch where everybody seems to be on. But the fact that I can count on maybe not everyone being hot like they are right now, but everybody giving you something, and with the pitching that you have, it's kind of all you need.
Yeah, you saw at the beginning of the year, Riley Green was on a heater to start the season.
Yeah.
And then he tapered off really fast. Kerry Carpenter and Torkelson took up the slack from that, and they were extremely hot. And then Torkelson teetered off a little bit, and then Riley Green picked back up, and now Tork's hitting another home run every other game. And Colt Keith found his swing. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Dante 151.
Yeah.
Tommy Kahnle right now has a .71 ERA.
And it's a guy that has 2 pitches. Well, he probably has more, but he throws 2 pitches.
That's why it's even nasty.
It's like 90% change-ups.
It's like Habib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's going to happen. This guy's going to grab you. He's going to strangle you. He's going to beat the fuck out, but you can't stop it.
Yeah.
He's just too good at his craft.
You know, if you go up to bat and Tommy Kahnle's pitching to you, you're going to see 95% change-ups, and you still can't hit it.
Yeah, I think the World Series stuff isn't that crazy.
Shout out Zach McKinstry for real, Zuberholvan. That talk about the driving force of this offense. He had a 12-game hit streak just come to an end 2 games ago, I believe. Like I said, he's top 10 in on-base percentage in the MLB. Big Mac has been very, very important for this Tigers team.
And the other thing, too,
slept on.
He's
probably got the best arm on the team when you look at position players. I won't even say probably. He's definitely got the best arm on the team when you look at position players. You put him in right field or at third base, he is gunning people. Like, he rips that bitch.
He had that gun down from left field against the Orioles.
Yeah.
That literally saved the run, kept momentum. It was with 2 outs. They tried to get an extra run. McKinstry not mowing him down from left field.
I love that.
That was a great call there, Spemo. Underrated arm from Z-Mac.
That is one of my favorite parts of baseball, like top 3 favorite things for me in baseball is somebody getting an outfield assist or
It's
just
sick
gunning
when it's
people
on the
down at
money.
the plate. And the Tigers haven't had a guy that can consistently do that in a long time. Obviously, Cespedes, he's got probably the best arm I've ever seen out of an outfielder. And obviously El Kaline way back in the day, but I'm not talking about that far back.
we didn't watch
But Cespedes is the best one I can think of. I mean, Riley Green's arm it's not excellent, but it's decent. Zach McKinstry has a plus arm. He can gun that thing in.
I got just a little stat here for you fellas.
A little song.
Some. So for anybody saying this is just a flash in the pan, this is like fluke, like don't buy into the World Series yet. It's let's look at some data for you boys, Since August 1st last season, the Detroit Tigers are 55-31 in the regular season. That is a .640 winning percentage. That would be on pace for your team to win 104 wins. So from August 1st of the end of last season to right now, current day, this team's winning at a 64% clip. 104 wins. They are on pace. If that would be, the total. But I just want the fans to buy in. I want Comerica Park to be rocking. Buy into the hype. We haven't seen a summer where we've started out this hot into May. There's no better time to buy into this team than right now, and you don't have your Gold Glove center fielder playing right now, or Matt Vierling. This pitching staff is incredible right now, and these players are just putting on a show, and they have the best manager and pitching coach in baseball, hands down.
Michael DeVries in the Woodward Sports chat.
Shout out.
Super chat. He says, bold prediction. Neil will have to acknowledge Javi as an MVP candidate by the trade deadline. LOL. So it sounds like he's kind of joking, but no, I don't think it's going to go that far.
No,
He's playing very well.
Aaron Judge.
You be the one to crack and say it, so I was staring at you, waiting for you to say it. What Torque?
No.
Why not?
Look at what Aaron Judge is doing. Aaron Judge is the MVP. There aren't any other MVP.
We can talk about top 5.
That's fair.
There isn't another MVP candidate in the AL not named Aaron Judge. Not even Riley. Not even Scooble.
Riley Green stays this hot. I mean, he might be in that top 5, boys.
Nick, look at what Aaron Judge.
No, top 5. I'm not saying MVP by at all. That nobody's saying
Aaron
that.
Judge is hitting like
5.
430 right now. Like he's insane.
He's on pace at like 64 bombs.
Yeah.
That's what's the record?
His record is 62, I think, or what?
I thought it was Barry.
In the AL. In the AL, it's Aaron Judge. He said it like 2 years ago.
What is it just in general? MLB.
in a season, probably Barry Bonds, probably like 80 or something like that.
Juiced
Something
up.
stupid.
Can you imagine Aaron Judge on the sauce?
That would be insane.
Fucking crazy.
73. Barry Bonds hit 73 in 2001.
Another super chat in there from Burn.
Burn in there says, I love this team. Just woke up one day in August and said, we tried everything else. Let's just try winning some effing games.
I mean, kind of.
It's really what it is.
It's wild, to be honest with you.
It's obviously, you have to pay a lot of credit to Scott Harris, AJ Hinch, and Chris Fetter for working with these guys, for giving them new thought processes. Obviously, I've talked about the change-ups that Chris Fetter and Scott Harris have established with a vast majority of their starting pitching staff. You talk about the approach at the plate that that AJ Hinch and Scott Harris have always preached about. They like to own the zone and like to attack the zone, and now we're seeing everybody buy into that, even a guy like Javi Baez. You got to talk about Scott Harris bringing in quality contracts, guys that are outperforming what they were paid, guys that you brought in here on better deals but are outperforming that, like a Flaherty, like Torres, like a Canely. Obviously, there are still some swing and misses by Scott Harris with guys like Kenta Maeda and Alex Cobb, but they are getting quality players throughout the entire system now, not just veterans. Obviously, we talked about they have the best farm system in baseball, so these guys have done a great job at completely facelifting this Tigers organization.
Would they have to see Cobb in action to get something back for him now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
AAA
you might be able
or
to get
big
something.
league?
He pitched like 16 innings last year.
You might be able. Yankees might get desperate. Orioles might be desperate if they're trying to actually do something.
Would
they
have to be big league
probably
at bats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of know what Alex Cobb is, but before you trade anything for him, he'd have to get a couple starts in.
But at this point, do we even trade him to a Yankees? I mean, maybe Orioles, because I don't see him as a threat right now. But at this point, I'm at the point where I'm not even trading him to the Yankees, because I don't want to see, if he does get going, I don't want to see him in the regular season or in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he is like a
Cobb?
stud, yeah. Like at that point, I'm not trading him to
is this
AL
a read
contenders.
Is this a read on him as a player or a read on what Scott Harris has done?
No, I'm saying just in general. At this point, I wouldn't sell off any key parts of this team to AL contenders, because it would.
You're not trying to make anybody better.
Exactly. I would not do that unless it was talking about a top 100,
I would
50
absolutely trade Cobb to the Yankees, and I don't care, because I'm not scared of Alex Cobb. It would make the Yankees better. It would.
I mean, I don't love Alex Cobb. Let me just get that straight.
I know.
We know.
I know what
don't.
you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying, though.
Pizza.
And I do agree with it, but I think I'm not saying just trade him to the Yankees, but I would trade him to any team that would want him.
I got a couple big questions.
Montero's
for you
better
guys.
than Cobb right now. And Matt Manning's pitching well in AAA right now.
Speaking of trading pitchers, the Jag, we might have fucked up and spoke that thing into existence a little bit. Your troll take.
Vendetta.
Is it a troll take?
I think it's a vendetta.
It was a troll take, yeah.
Is it just me reading the tea leaves?
Maybe you could take him out before the 5th. We have a stat from
before the 6th. Castellani.
Yeah.
Hell of a stat.
Take him out after the 5th is my
Disgusting.
If they're the
stat.
number one team in the AL, they're not going to trade him.
He's got a 2 ERA, 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And then literally
That third time through the lineup.
that 6th inning,
Yeah.
21 something.
Yeah.
ERA. That's insane.
I got a couple questions to pose to you guys
Okay.
shortly.
Let him rip, because we got a guest coming after this, so we just...
Oh, do we? Are we going through it?
Yeah, let's just go through.
Okay. All right. Here we go, boys. First one is Spenny. You love talking about this changeup. Is a guy that we brought in that we hit on a little bit earlier. Could Tommy Canley be one of the big reasons that these changeups look... We know they were good last year, but could this be a reason that this could be the pitch of this whole entire staff now? Because Canley's is nasty as well, and these guys' changeups have looked different this year. Scooble's and Reese Olson's.
Yeah.
And Mize's and Job's.
I think the organization's bought into that pitch alone. That's probably one of the reasons Tommy Canley's here.
Yeah.
Chris Fetter, Scott Harris, all the guys.
Yeah, I talked about it a lot, that seam-shifted wake that they've put on all of these changeups and really turned them into knockout pitches. Canley, I mean, having a guy in here who only throws changeups definitely helps. I mean, that guys do that all the time. that was half of the reason they brought in Maeda was because you could talk to Mize about the splitter, So, yeah, it definitely helps to have Tommy Kahnle in here because that is a guy who excels at throwing the changeup. But, no, I believe it's what Chris Fetter, Scott Harris have adapted, how they've kind of led the forefront of that seam-shifted wake on changeups. And it's really – you've seen the rise in production from all the starters is because they're teaching them to throw it differently. And it's working. So,
yeah, I think it's organizational buy-in from – top down. I think that's one of the reasons Kahnle's here. And like Spinny said, we saw Scooble coaching up our guy Job like a few weeks back, and I'm sure Kahnle's doing the same thing throughout spring and maybe even now too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, seems like he's a big guy in the locker room as well. When the Tigers post some of those like social media quick questions, like who would survive in the wilderness or something like that, and like they're like Kahnle, like dude's a madman. Like I don't want to go up against
I can see it, dude.
him or a bear. I'm taking.
You know how
Kahnle
perfected you have to be to like just be that 2-pitch assassin the way he is. Like you got to be very meticulous.
Yes.
You got all your shit together. Like he probably.
Bullpen guys are notoriously weird.
Yes.
Probably the weirdest position in baseball is bullpen guys. So, yeah, it makes sense. Like, Will Vest is a psychopath, and I love
You got to have
him.
the minty.
All right, boys.
A mental.
This is the second one, and this is the big one. Hypothetically, I'm giving you guys $10,000 cold hard cash.
Okay.
I got an updated win total. You're what?
I'll put it in my mouth.
What the fuck?
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
10,000 cold hard cash. Oh god. The Tigers win total currently sits at 91.5 wins on the season. 91.5. You got $10,000. Are the Detroit Tigers going over or under 91.5?
Over. All day.
$10,000.
I had them for 85, and they're way, way, way outperforming that 85 prediction. What's 6 more games? Give me over all fucking day. And again, the thing is, like the hitting has been spotty, but the pitching has been great, and that's going to carry you. And maybe at times you're seeing what we saw against the Angels. Although the Angels, I think, Ron Washington, did he get caught doing cocaine? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Shout out.
He tested positive for like crack cocaine. And, like,
What?
You guys remember that?
No, dude. I think you're thinking of Denzel Washington and Flight.
He was with Texas.
Texas. Yeah. I promise you. Look it up.
Hey.
I remember it because I remember it being on ESPN and he
Don't
kept
hate
his
the player,
job.
hate the game.
And I was a kid at that time too. So like the cocaine to me was like, cocaine?
Yeah. Whoa.
He's gonna die.
Yeah.
What was he doing? You know,
Nobody does that.
Dude, look it up. I promise you it's a thing. But I think that's part of obviously what happened this weekend. But still, the hitting, someone's there for you, and the pitching's always there for you. Give me 91, $10,000 all day.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say under, right, with the way they're playing right now and with the guys that they're going to be getting back and guys that are starting to hit the ball better. But 92 wins is a lot, dude. But yeah, I would take the over.
92 and 70.
I would take the over right now.
Chris, after Spenny,
it's a long
over?
season. It's a long season.
But you take it's the current odds.
Current odds. I would.
What
What are the odds?
Minus 110 for both.
Poop division too.
Poop division. You played. You already played the Padres. You already played the Dodgers.
Yeah, and I was just gonna get to that. So we took two
of
or three from the Padres. We took 2 or 3 from the Yankees, and we took 2 or 3 from the Mariners, who are the second team in the AL right now.
Wild.
Chris,
I'm all seeing and all knowing. I know what happens. I just am not obliged to tell you at this time. But just know that I see this coming.
we got Doctor Strange over in there.
Either way, whatever it is, you saw it coming. That's fair. Nobody in the Woodward Sports chat says all that white on Eazy looks like he's giving sermons. Is this your?
Are you feeling?
You applying for Pope now?
I bought this for the whiteout, and I was like, I'm just gonna wear my new shit. There.
Yeah.
The hat.
It's a nice shirt.
It's a good shirt.
You. It's definitely white. Don't last too long, but that's why I got to wear it while I got it.
Yeah.
In 2009, Ron Washington, then manager of the Texas Rangers, tested positive for cocaine and admitted to using it once during a night out before the All-Star break.
Fuck yeah, Ron.
Yeah.
That's wild that they're drug testing managers.
That is kind of wild.
Let the guy be.
For sure.
Just kidding.
Don't
do drugs.
Nobody? No, yeah, don't do that. That's not true.
Joe's a bad guy. Are you taking it, Nicholas?
Pope Easy, says Detroit Lenny.
I'll be Pope Easy.
Is
I don't even know what the Pope does. He's just old. I know that.
Pretty much, yeah. He pretty much.
Aren't they like signing off on a Pope right now?
With all the,
Is that what they're
Anybody can apply.
Conclave?
Apparently, there's open applications. And
Conclave.
any Catholic man could become Pope. Apparently, so.
See a black Pope?
Never gonna see a black Pope.
A brown Pope?
No, black before brown, probably.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Let's say brown. You see like a Mexican Pope. You know?
Yeah.
Or like a Brazilian. Little.
We're gonna have ChatGPT write me a fire cover letter when I
Do you
apply
have
and
to
get
be
the job.
super old, by the way, too? Like, is that?
No, any Catholic man can become Pope.
Why do they keep?
Because they're wise and they're closer to God.
Oh, technically, yeah. Is that why?
I don't know. I mean, that
doesn't make
would be
sense.
my thought process.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right,
Had a
next
few
question.
scares.
Yeah, you want to talk to God? I'll give you the scripture right here, fellas.
Pope Hobby.
Yes, we will get over 91.5 wins.
Off-white Pope.
I've been leading the charge saying that this team is going to win the AL. I said it very early. I probably a little too early because it's baseball, but
Said a lot of things pretty early, but you know,
It's all right.
and then
we're sticking with the ones that stuck.
led the charge
Already been 3 black
saying
Popes.
this team's going to
Nice.
be a contender for the World Series. Yeah, I'm buying into this 100%. You don't have Parker Meadows back. You have the best rotation in baseball. Spencer Torkelson's here to stay. Riley Green already went through his slump. Colt Keith already went through his slump. And now you're seeing guys like Trey Sweeney hit. Like, when does this lineup get weak? Somebody tell me.
Keith is the one surprising me
And
this
now,
week.
boom, 3 homers on the road trip. Riley Green, first player in MLB history
Ever.
to hit 2 bombs in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Looking like a young superstar out
Which
there.
is in fucking insane because baseball's been around a long
I was literally-
fucking time.
I was playing euchre at the bar during that 9th inning, and like I looked up, first home run. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Keep playing. Saw him get a couple more hits and stuff. Playing, look up. Riley was up again. I was like, wait, what?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. He hit another home run. I was like, holy shit.
That was an insane inning. Wasn't
Apparently,
that guy?
there's been 3 black Popes already. Says Matt K 754.
No way.
Cool.
I'll have to juggle that one.
Yeah.
We do have to go to break. We do have some Detroit Pistons coming up with our guy, Khalil. Do you have something you got to get out real quick, Nick?
No, I think we're...
I'm down to revisit Tigers too. As of now, the Pistons wrap up their season. We get to squeeze as much Pistons talk as we can until there's no first round pick, so free agency. But Feist,
Off-white Pope is funny.
Off-white Pope.
It says Pope across his robe on the chest.
Dude, that's hilarious.
merch.
Let me tell you about
No,
merch.
let's just do.
Couple.
Yeah, let's just do Lady Jane's and Dr. Pierce.
We are now going to talk about Lady Jane.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Make sure you get a lovely haircut from one of our beautiful, talented stylists. You can get a hot leather, night shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo.
Ah.
You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at michigansportsatspine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944. Shout out the Black Popes.
Shout out to Off-White Popes. What up,
Off-White
welcome
Pope.
back to the Off-White Pope and Spencer Raxter. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend. Now that the Detroit Pistons season is officially over, we have time to digest what we saw in one of the biggest turnarounds in NBA history. And so I invited back on my guy, Ku Khalil from Locked On Pistons. What up, though, man?
What's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Good, man. I made my application for the Pope. I'm hoping I get it.
Yeah. I was hearing that.
Cool, man. The Detroit Pistons did amazing this year. But obviously, I think one of the largest takeaway from that series is that Cade needs a Robin. He's Batman. I know my guy TJ, whatever, may have had a good night that night. Who knows? We'll forgive him. We got Batman. We need a Robin. Is Robin on this team, or do you think he gets acquired this offseason or maybe via trade?
So I agree with you guys that watching this series, it very much shows that the Pistons do need a Robin. In the times in the fourth quarter, the Knicks took over. I mean, if it wasn't Brunson, it was Cat. If it wasn't Cat, it was Brunson. They had multiple guys that could close the deal for him. And for the Pistons, they just had one creator in Cade Cunningham, and he has to be better. He's going to get better, but he needs someone else to help him. Whether that guy's on the team, I think they'll wait to find out that answer next season. I don't expect them to make any big deals this offseason. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about doing so. I'm sure I'm probably going to engage in some of those talks as well and all the content. But from what I understand, I don't think that that's something that they're going to do this offseason. It might, but I don't think it's going to be something they do. I think they want to see what this team looks like with Jay and Ivy. I think they believe, at least some people believe, that Jay and Ivy can be the Robin, the secondary scorer for Cade Cunningham, and they don't need to go make a deal. History, I believe, would tell you that it's probably likely, like in the next 2 to 3 years, someone's going to be traded. It's very uncommon where everybody is on the team for years and no one gets moved, just whether it's for a star or whether it's for just players that fit better with, to fit better with your roster. But as far as this offseason, I think they're probably just going to wait to see how Ivy looks. They think Ivy could potentially be that secondary scorer and then maybe just improve along the margins. I think that's probably the likely scenario, but definitely finding out if there is a Robin on this team is going to be, I think, question number one all next season for the Pistons.
I agree with you 100% there. I think they're going to eventually do something, but I don't think this is the season that they do it. And Jaden Ivey, obviously, what we saw from him at the beginning of the year, he was the number 2 scorer on this team. He was the guy that was initiating the offense when Cade wasn't on the floor. What does he need to do next year to prove to you that he can be that guy, that he could be that Robin to Cade's Batman?
I think Ivy needs to become a much better on-ball basketball player. I think he's a really good off-ball player right now. He scores a ton of his points off of Cade's gravity, catch and shoot threes. He shot like 47%, I think, this past year on catch and shoot threes. He does a great job of attacking cuts or attacking gaps, cutting, and attacking tilted defenses. But when he's asked to be the point guard, when he's asked to be the isolation scorer, when he's asked to be the primary initiator, the lineups, all the lineup data tells you it did not go over very well. It hasn't gone well throughout his career. He hasn't been a great individual, creator himself. He's not the greatest finisher yet at this point. His shot did vastly improve this past year, so hopefully that's a step in the right direction. But he's still not a great finisher around the rim. I believe last I checked, he was around the 25th percentile around the rim. So for me, what the Pistons need, and if Ivy can be this is great for them. But this is what he'd have to improve on. The Pistons desperately need someone that can score in isolation. I'm all about, moving the ball. I'm all about playing the right way. Like, I get all of it. I'm into the numbers, all of it. But at the end of the day, you do need someone that you can just give the ball to and say, you're going to break down the defense. You can go get your own bucket and create for someone else. And the Pistons were one of the worst isolation teams in the NBA this year. It's one of the reasons why their half-court offense was so bad, because they just don't have anyone outside of Cade, and Cade's not even the greatest at this as well. They don't have anyone you can just give the ball to and just you go create an advantage when we can't create one for you. All of the Pistons offense is just Cade creates advantage, you feed off of it. Cade creates advantage, you feed off of it. They need someone who can score in isolation, put a good defender on you. It doesn't matter. I can go get a bucket, whether it's mid-range 3 at the rim. That's what they need. So whether Ivy can be that or not, we're going to get to find out, but I would say through his career so far, what he's shown to be is a really good off-ball player who can score on cuts, catch and shoot opportunities, attack closeouts, in transition, stuff like that. I don't think that's the Pistons' biggest need. I think he definitely would have helped in the playoffs, no doubt, 100%. I think they maybe would have won with Ivy. But I think their biggest need is someone who can score in isolation opposed from Cade's gravity. And I'm not sure if Ivy can do that, but we're going to find out, and hopefully he can, because that would be great for the Pistons.
Yeah, is there – I know it's a little early into the conversation here, but, like, are there any names of free agency that maybe fit that criteria for you?
I don't think you're going to get that in free agency. I don't know if they're even going to – like, if I had to take a guess, I don't think they acquire that this offseason. I don't think they're going to go out and try to find a guy that does that unless they trade – there's like some nerdy CBA stuff I could get into, but I'm not going to bore everybody out of this.
No, dude, we're nerds.
There's a way the Pistons can. I think the most likely scenario the Pistons are going to go is they're going to sign THA to a contract. If they match the first year of his contract that they signed him to with his cap hold, they can trade him immediately as soon as they sign him. So I think the most likely thing you're probably going to see them do, and because this front office is so cap savvy, and Michael Blackstone has done a great job in their salary cap leader. He's done a great job with this. I think the most likely scenario, I'm going to guess, is they do sign THA to that contract. They use him, Tech, and maybe like a second-round pick or something to go after somebody, maybe as a backup four, maybe as a starting four. Not a star or anything, but I think that's probably the realistic avenue to trying to create something. But right now, the Pistons aren't a cap space team. I don't think they're going to be a cap space team because it doesn't make much sense. The most cap that they could create doesn't make much sense with how much they could actually do as an over-the-cap team. I know that doesn't make much sense, but if you're over-the-cap team, you have the MLE that you can use, and then you can offer Malik Beasley $14 million. If you create $8, $9, $10 million, you're going to have to use all of that on Malik and then not have anything anyway. So it doesn't make much sense for them to create cap and try to go that route. I think they're probably going to operate as an over-the-cap team, get Malik back for that $14 million mid-level exception, and then try to do some cap stuff with THA and Tech's contract, maybe to upgrade otherwise. But as far as the isolation guy, I don't think they do that this offseason. I think that's going to have to eventually be a bigger deal that maybe they make in a year from now, depending on how next year goes. Maybe Ivy is it and they have it, but I think you don't get the answer as a acquisition until like maybe a year from now.
And Pistons, amazing season, obviously. They exceeded everyone's expectations when it comes to the biggest turnaround in the history of the NBA, getting that 6th seed, winning a couple games on the road in the playoffs against a team that sold out and was going all in to win a championship. But with that comes expectations now next year. I think the only person who expected the Pistons to be the 6th seed this year was Ashton. He's been calling for that for a while. But
kind of crazy.
Next year, what are your expectations for this Detroit Pistons team? Is it – I mean, it's got to be at least a playoff series victory. Are we talking Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh,
that's why throughout the year I wanted to tell, I told fans all the time, like, enjoy this season, be happy about this season, don't get too serious about this season, because the most fun part of like a rebuild or as a team gets better is the first year when they break through and there's no real expectations and it's just let's just have fun with it. Whatever happens. This is great. Now next year there will be expectations. There is an expectation to get better. There will be an expectation, I think, to win a playoff series. I don't know if it's going to be Eastern Conference Finals, but I do expect it to be – the expectations probably will be to be a top 5, top 4 seed and try to win a playoff series. And that's why it's so – this is going to be such an interesting offseason because there's risk with everything they do. No matter what avenue you take, there will be a risk. And I was just reading an article. I forget who it was from. I wish I could credit who it was, but I was just reading an article. It might have been ESPN. Actually, it might have been Amon-Ra. Actually, whatever it is, it basically was highlighting like because there's going to be a lot of talk about do the Pistons go make a trade for a star or do you be patient? And there's arguments for both sides. I get it, but there's also risks that come with both sides. You go for the trade for the star, you cash in too early, you give up assets, and then that blows up in your face. Now you've given up young assets and you don't have nothing to show for it. You end up like the Atlanta Hawks last year or last 2 years. That's fair, and you end up like maybe the Sacramento Kings. But also, if you stay the same and you have these increased expectations, you just say, we're going to bring it back, we'll all get better, you do also have the same outcome as potentially the Sacramento Kings after the first year when they took Golden State to 7, and it's like, oh, we got something going here, let's just build upon this, and then the next year they don't even make it, like they have a really struggling season. Or you have what happens to the Atlanta Hawks the first half of their year where their owner comes out and says, we're struggling right now because we thought we could just build upon things. That's our bad. We should have made moves. And now you enter the next offseason even more aggressive than maybe you should be because now you're trying to correct a mistake you made the year prior. So it's very much a thin line that you gotta thread. it's going to be tough. It's not easy to build contenders. So no matter what route they make, there is going to be a risk to it. I guess it's just a matter of which risk do you feel more comfortable with. And I'm almost 99% sure that most fans are going to be more comfortable with the let's just stay patient and let's see how this team goes. And now I'm not saying that's the wrong pathway, but the difference is that now there's going to be expectations. There is no longer going to be just this is fun bounce back season, whatever happens. It's okay within the first 20 games next year. If the Pistons struggle like they did this past year, the first 20 games, run it back. It's not going to be, let's just wait till the season goes out. It's going to be, what the hell happened? Why aren't they making this jump? Like, there's a lot of things I don't think just running it back completely is smart. You want to at least improve on the margins, but I mean, we'll see what happens. Definitely there's going to be expectations. And I think everybody, fans, coaches, players, everyone needs to get accustomed to that, because playing it, there's a risk to going all in, but there's also a risk to playing it too safe while also increasing expectations while playing it too safe. So we'll see what happens.
Now, the one thing you mentioned that is my biggest target of need, because I agree with you, there is no path to an isolation score that will help this team go to that next level right away unless you do talk about making that big move via trade. I don't see it in free agency. I don't see it internally happening this fast next year. But with getting that shooting at the front court, that power forward position, if you can add some shooting there and internal growth with a very young core, rookies like Ron Holland, how much can you expect to this team to improve this season with all of those factors? Because they are such a young team, and Cade could still go up a level. They could still make a drastic climb.
Yeah, I do think it's definitely on the board that if they just make, again, I think if they just make improvements along the margins, and I think that 4 position is the very, I would bet heavy money that the 4 position will be where they target this offseason, whether it's a new starting 4 for Tobias and move Tobias to the backup position, or just get a better backup 4 for Tobias. I mean, Tobias' on-off this year was crazy, and part of it had to do with how good Tobias was, but also it had a lot to do with his backup being so bad that you just saw the stark difference between what it looked like with him on the floor versus without him. So internal improvement, just making some improvements along the borders. I mean, this team was without Jaden Ivey for the back half of the year. They didn't have Stu in this playoff series, and they were playing a 19-year-old Ron Holland, 18, 19, 20 minutes a game during the season. Asar Thompson didn't get any offseason. You saw how gassed he was throughout the year, and there's an argument that the reason why he didn't play more in the playoffs was maybe there was an underlying minutes restriction where he just wasn't in peak shape yet, which would make sense because he didn't have an offseason. So, like, all of that stuff combined, if Asar Thompson getting a full offseason, Ron Holland have another offseason to get better, Jaden Ivey coming back healthy, and then you just improving, like, from Fontecchio and then improving from THA, this team won, 44, 45 games? Like, that should be enough theoretically to get you to at least like 48, 49. I'm not going to say it will get you to 50-plus guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It's hard to anticipate everything going right in one offseason, but then again, everything went right for him this past year, so maybe it happens again. But there's definitely a pathway to getting much better without going out to the isolation score. I guess I guess a better explanation for it would be for them to reach like contender status. I think you need that. I think you need to eventually get that isolation score. For them to get better than this year and just take another step, you don't necessarily need it. Like them improving from Fontecchio and getting a guy who's a two-way guy, legit size, 6'9", 6'10", maybe a Santi Aldama, something like that. That would be great for them. That would help them dramatically. Improving from THA, starting Ivy, and then getting a guy behind him who can play a little bit more defense, that would greatly improve this team. Having, I don't know if they're going to bring back Schroeder, we'll find out, but having a backup point guard for the entirety of the year and not just the final 23 games or whatever, that would be a huge improvement as well. So they don't need the isolation score to take a step next year. They can just improve along the margin. They should get better. But I guess my point of the isolation score, they do need that eventually when they reach contender status. And that is the big, like, overwhelming question that will be around this team, because getting Cade or Robin will be, like, at the front of everyone's mind now after you see how Cade's, like, your dude. That's just natural. That's what everyone's going to talk about now.
Cool. Nick in the sound booth here. It's a pleasure to meet you before Game 3 at LCA. Just to me, expectations change between Game 1 and then ultimately Game 6. And to me, this Pistons team kind of choked away Game 4 and Game 6, and it was a big controversy in this room specifically. We got into it pretty heated. Just
can't choke a series. Never let 'em.
ultimately, did you believe that this team choked down the stretch with the turnovers and, the missed shots and obviously their youth showing, or do you think it was just, a series that they were always going to lose?
Yeah, I don't think those things. I think they can be mutually exclusive. I agree that. I do agree with the idea that after game 1 and especially game 2, expectations can change. Like if they came in and got blitzed and lost in 5, and it was just like, okay, well, you could clearly see their inexperience. They were lucky to get one game. You'll take this. It is what it is. This is just for the growth. I think everyone's reaction is completely different. But when you watch the series play out, you see them win game 2. You see them blow away game 1. You see them give up game 3. You see them give up game 4. You see the way game 6 happens. I do think expectations can change and be like, okay, this wasn't just a team that was here, lucky to be here, good story. This was a team that really should have won. Like, I think it's fair to say expectations change.
Yeah.
Choking, I don't think is a correct word because this is a team this was all their first playoff experience. So whether expectations change or not, this did need to happen for them to just gain experience, and they'll be better for it. I do think it's a good point to point out the expectations. I do believe that fans that, and I know this is very controversial, everyone's going to argue about this, but I do believe that fans who, after watching the playoff series, I do feel like everyone coming into the playoff series was just happy to be there. I do feel like fans that are after the series saying, man, I'm really bummed out, I'm really disappointed. They really should have won the series. I'm not mad at them because they didn't get blitzed off the floor. They really outplayed the Knicks for a large majority of the series and just choked away. I guess choke away is a good way of doing it.
It's not choked away, though, because it's the inexperience that showed up in those moments. The turnovers and sloppiness. Like, they need to grow. They need to get better, and that's okay to accept. You saw the Rockets do it as a 2 seed.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's why I don't like the word choke, because they are inexperienced. This is their first time around. They had to go through this to get better. If this was like year 2, year 3, and they were doing this in the fourth quarter, then you could go crazy over it. But being disappointed, sure, it definitely can be disappointing because they probably could have won this series for sure. But choke, I think it's a little harsh for a team that had how old was Asar? 22 Asar, 23 K, 21 Duran. They were without Stu. Like, all these guys are really, really young. This is their first go around, so I think this will be better for them. And all the stars that you look at, none of them exceed and go crazy in their first. Everyone goes through their bumps and bruises when they first get there. This is part of the process. So. But it definitely, I won't lie to you, it definitely was more disappointing seeing them get so close and be like, oh my God, this is more than just a fun story now. They probably should have won. This sucks.
Yeah.
But
sucks.
Very, very winnable series.
I think the biggest example of the experience conversation is up until like 5 and 6, where Duran and Asar started to show up. It was Tobias, it was Schroeder, the old heads that were like the second man. And I think like now we have that. I think we have some expectations next year for sure.
And I want to let you talk your shit, Koo, because I believe that, you could talk about the missed layup in Game 6 that was wide open, fast break layup. Cade just missed it. Inexcusable, got to hit those. But the defensive rebounding down the stretch in that game, absolutely awful. Let up way too many second chance buckets for the Knicks. But I think the single reason why you lost that game was because J.B. Bickerstaff subbed out Asar Thompson with, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and you see the Knicks go on a run, and Jalen Brunson starts hitting buckets.
Brunson had that ridiculous under-the-basket bucket.
Yeah.
That would not have happened.
Asar just would have swatted that right in his face.
Yeah.
So what is your thought process on J.B. Bickerstaff? And I think personally, as much as I love what he did this season, I respect him blundering that Game 6 away.
Coach of the Year announced tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a finalist for it, so hopefully he wins it. He'd be deserving of it. So I did a film breakdown today of the final 4 minutes. I went through every single play and broke it down in the final 4 minutes. And because the final 4 minutes, Asar got subbed out at 3:52 left in the game. So I think I completely agree. I'm not going to hide it. I completely agree that taking out Asar was a massive.
I was crashing out. I scared my dog. I was screaming.
Yeah, it was definitely a massive decision that I think it's fair to say that cost them the game. I think that's fair. However, I will say this. Going through each play, I think Cade's going to be up late all night, all summer. Because I
agree.
He had quite a few good looks that, despite the Asar decision, which I think the game would have played out differently if you kept Asar in, Cade got 3 really good looks in that final 4 minutes. He had one on the right, around the right extended free throw line area, gets into the paint, and he goes off same foot, same hand, floater, where I feel like if he just goes to his midi, he probably feels even more comfortable with it. Now, that's a shot he can still hit, the one he took, but I feel like he kind of put too much emphasis on going to the basket and just instead of going to his midi. There was another one where he gets, I think it was this one was the final possession before Brunson hit a three. He beats, Duren does a great job of setting a screen on OG, flips the screen, gets OG stuck. He beats Cat to the rim. And instead of going with the same hand, same inside finish, he kind of floats away from the rim for an offhand, left-hand layup. And he just made it so much more difficult on himself. He had another finish at the rim where he just made it so much more difficult on himself. And then he had a pull-up jumper there where he could have hit. I think Cade is going to be up. And look, I love Cade. Cade's the dude. He is the franchise. But I think he's going to be up late watching some of this film at the end here of Game 6. Because he had a chance to really – maybe the Knicks win still because they couldn't really get stops after that. But maybe they win still. But Cade had numerous chances to really kind of either – I don't want to say dagger, but at least give you a comfortable lead to where you're like, okay, I'm stopping the bleeding. We can calm down because – once Asar came out, the Knicks just started going and going and going. And it was like, someone needs to stop the bleeding, please. Someone stop the bleeding, and they just weren't able to. Asar, though, coming out was bad. It was the thing is that people don't get is that Schroeder does a great job staying with Brunson. But in the fourth quarter, when they clear out the floor, I was talking with Monica McNutt of ESPN, like right before Game 6 in the media room. And yeah, I had to flex it real quick. Yeah. But she was mentioning that she was mentioning about how strong Jalen Brunson is, and people don't really realize that.
Yeah.
He is strong as hell. So if you put someone on him like Schroeder, all he has to do is just get to his spot, and then he can just move you off. I mean, that and one he had on Schroeder, he just moved him off the spot. That's why having Asar on him was so important because he's not moving Asar. He's not. Now, he may shift him out of shoes like he did the final possession, which, it happens to the best of them. It is what it is. But before then, in the fourth quarter, Brunson was 1 of 9 on Asar in the fourth quarter. So I think it was a terrible decision. But, I mean, there's definitely an argument that I guess you could make that despite that, your franchise player has to make the play, has to make the shot. He had the chances. He needs to close it out. And I think both, again, I guess they're not – it's mutually exclusive. Both things can be true. Like, it doesn't have to be one thing or the other. Both things can be true, though. I will definitely put more emphasis on the Asar sub because I was distraught when I saw that one.
Me too. I couldn't believe. I literally started screaming for a while. I sat down. I was like, he had to have gotten a couple fouls and I didn't see him. And I opened the box score and it said 3 personal fouls.
Wasn't it a defensive sub too? Like, wasn't it before a defensive possession?
It was before a defensive possession. What's crazy is
that's what makes it worse.
I've never seen, and again, JB, people take this too far. JB has been great for them this year, and nowhere near am I trying to say he's been bad. He's been great for him. He's been fantastic. He might win Coach of the Year. But I have never opened up my Twitter feed and seen the entire feed all saying this. Not just people in Detroit. I'm talking about people nationally, everyone saying the same. Why did Asar come out? Thank you for taking Asar out. It was definitely a confusing decision. I am going to maintain belief that it had to have been some kind of secret minutes restriction that we just don't know about.
Like the asthma thing he was dealing with earlier?
I have to believe that's the case because they asked Asar after the game, and he was like...
He said schematic, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said it was schematic. He said, I didn't ask to come out it was schematic, but we have trust in our guys. I don't care. But so Asar didn't say it was...
the wrong schematics, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but tough.
Chris got a 2-minute question you want to squeeze in before break.
I just want to talk about the 2 biggest upcoming free agents for the Detroit Pistons next season, and that is Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, both up for rookie contract extensions. A big reason why I believe that if you stick this crew together, you'll see massive success because we see a lot of rookies ball out on that last year when they're trying to get that big first bag in the NBA. Who are you putting more stock into next season's performance, Jalen Duren or Jaden Ivey?
Oh, that's a tough one.
You say Duren. That's the right answer. Don't feel bad.
That's so tough. I don't know because I guess the thing is they desperately need what Ivy can theoretically bring them. They desperately need that from him. So if he's able to be that secondary scorer, that could be huge for them. I think there's a chance Duren gets his extension this offseason. So I'm going to say Ivy because I think there's a chance Darren gets his extension this offseason and he's not really playing for money next year. Ivy, I don't think they give him his money coming off an injury, so I think he'll be playing for something next year even more than just like team success, so I'll go with Ivy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reality of the situation. It's very much still in the air. You know more than anybody. You're the numbers guy. There's a net negative rating. It's straight up. But I do think he could bring you what Schroeder did, and it cuts the turnovers. Like I would love that. I like what we saw to Schroeder. I guess real quick, you think he comes back or what?
Schroeder?
Yeah.
It depends how much money he wants. It's really the Pistons, how they want to maneuver their cap situation is going to be really interesting because they're not a cap team, and you figure that they're going to want to give the full MLE to Malik. They're not going to want to let Malik go. Yeah. So depending on how much Schroeder wants, they might just not be able to afford him. But I would be fine with bringing him back. I think he was really good for him, and I think he'll be better as he gets more accustomed to the team. So I'd be fine bringing him back. It's just a matter of can they afford him.
Yep. Hey, cool. We appreciate you as always joining the show, brother. Shout out everything you got going on where you're hooking things up.
You broke down that 4 minutes. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
What was it?
You broke down that 4 minutes. Did you put that out on YouTube?
No, I put that out on my Substack. So you can find it over on Substack, kukahill.substack.com, or you can just look up Piston Kudos and you'll find it over there.
Hey, cool. Before we let you go, one word, just a name. Perfect offseason acquisition for the Detroit Pistons in your mind, whether it be trade or free agent.
That's tough.
Zion Williamson.
Oh! All right, there it is. All right, we'll be coming back. Shout out to Koo for joining us live on the Woodward Heavyweights.
Clip it! It's a clip!
We'll be back. But first, let me tell you about Buddy's Pizza. Buddy's Pizza created the category of the original Detroit-style pizza and has been serving it since 1946. With 22 locations in Michigan, there's always a Buddy's Pizza near you. Buddy's is the cornerstone of the city of Detroit, being here for 79 years and is a dedicated community partner with notable partnerships with local organizations like Michigan Humane Society, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10 and then MEAL. Go find a location near you at buddyspizza.com.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
All right, guys, whether you're hitting the game or simply just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of recreational cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state of Michigan, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready because new stores are coming your way soon. Go to JarsCannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite product today.
Hey, happy birthday to my sister. It's Olivia's birthday today.
Shout
birthday
out.
on Cinco de Mayo. I'd say she's in California.
Sick ass birthday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding? Margs and tacos for your birthday celebration?
Great
every
birthday
year?
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'd start at
Cali?
13.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Happy birthday, Olivia. Love you.
Great
You know,
Mexican
you can talk
food
your way
out
to
in
that one.
California, right?
Dude, oh yeah. I'm trying to go out there soon. Chill with her and her boyfriend.
I love fucking people so bad. Couple super chats that we missed. One was about the Tigers. I think Burns sent before that started. And then my man Michael says he doesn't wear white anymore because he looks like the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. So shout out to Michael and shout out
Michael.
Zion Williamson.
That was a grenade.
That's
He did.
He
drop
literally
the
dove
grenade,
out of the
dipped
way.
out,
Yeah. Shout out to Koo, man. Listen. He'd be the cheapest star you could get.
Yeah.
Price of acquisition, you could not find someone who pays off as much as Zion Williamson would if he stays healthy for the amount of money or the amount of assets it would take to get him. Obviously, also his contract is set up to where if he doesn't perform, then you're not paying him. So if he doesn't perform, the only thing you lose are the assets in the trade. You wouldn't also lose a shit ton of money on the books. That is definitely a win now move to a big shakeup. I'm not going to say I hate it. I wouldn't do it personally. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I don't trust him to stay healthy and to be a factor because I'm not just looking for next year. I'm looking for the next 5 years of this Detroit Pistons team and for them to be not only contending for Eastern Conference Finals in the next 2 years, but be contending for NBA championships in the next 5 years.
I hate that he dropped that and dipped. I have so many questions.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust Zion to be a guy that plays 75% of your games at the very least for a 5-year stretch.
You know where I trust Zion to play? 50% of the games after Marcus Davenport gets hurt for the Detroit Lions at defensive end.
You
That's
say
what
the
I
Lions
trust.
should trade for Zion?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, imagine Zion off the edge.
Opposite
be
Hutch.
unguardable.
Brother, you only got to play 17 games a year.
Yeah.
That's right in your
Right in your
that's
pocket.
right in your
Just
pocket.
jump over offensive tackles.
Seriously, you only play the defensive possession. You don't have to be there on the offense.
Yeah. Obviously,
Dog,
just
I would try it. I would try. How good are you, Casey Rogers?
I'm clowning here, but what do you guys think it takes to get Zion? I guess that's the question in the room, and that's
There's multiple questions about that, but
It would still take a lot. It's not like you get him for Jaden Ivey and 3 second-round picks. Like, it would still take.
Would you Ivy 2 first? Or is that even still not
Would
enough?
you do Ivy,
I
Asar,
don't
and a
think that's
first?
enough. I think
Ivy,
that's
Asar, and a first.
I think that it would take something like that.
They're going to ask for 2 young prospects.
Yeah, it'll
For
probably.
Are you willing to
You're
do
going to have
Ivy
to
and
include
Asar?
Tobias Harris as well.
Contract.
Tobias Harris is going to have to be in there.
You guys know I'm Mr. Fit. I don't like this fit. I just don't think the spacing is there with that.
Yeah.
With Cade specifically, I want this floor spaced out. See the passes he was making in that series?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need a 4 that can consistently shoot that 3. I think it was only 23% last year. We only played 30 games. I love Zion as an athlete. And if you guys want, like, the rim pressure everyone talks about, that would be it right there for sure. But, like, in terms of availability and actual fit, I just don't know that works out. Like, I would –
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't proven to be able to play a regular season. How can you expect him to play a regular season and playoffs? And so I don't think this is a guy that's going to age well. I think his prime is going to be 23, 24, not 28, 30 like normal NBA superstars. And also, when you're looking at trading for him, New Orleans isn't just going to cut bait on this. They are going to hold true to this. They are going to hold the fort, and they're going to try to maximize their value in this return. And I don't see Zion Williams fitting that well with Cade either. Easy, like,
great player.
He's a good player. He's a good player, but I liken him to a little bit of, not play style wise, but in a sense it'd be the Julius Randle thing where it's a little bit awkward on the court. Like, like he's not necessarily operating from the 3-point line heavily. And yes, he's a different player than Randle, but I think he kind of, Jalen Duren, unless you're throwing Jalen Duren in that and committing to Zion at the 5, something he really hasn't wanted to do either. I just don't see a world in which this fits for the Pistons unless you're bringing him in with other pieces supplemented via free agency. You're reworking the roster to make this
you
work.
saw what that spacing did for you this year.
Yeah, you definitely have to rework what you're doing, and maybe it's a world where you keep Jaden Ivey and you move on from Jalen Duren in that trade. Instead of Jaden Ivey, Duren's the centerpiece with other pieces, obviously, and then you have Zion at the 4 and you sign a Brook Lopez to be a spacing 5. and then you re-sign Malik Beasley to have another shooter. There are ways that you could work it out. I personally don't think the risk is worth it. For what Zion is, the risk is worth it, but I don't think you'll ever see the reward. So I wouldn't do it.
Well, what do you mean? So define that, because what is the risk you're willing to give up?
What you're giving up to get Zion Williamson, who Zion Williamson could be. Nobody on this team would be as good as Zion Williamson if he's healthy. So other than Cade, obviously. But I don't think you can't trust him to stay healthy. You can't.
Yeah,
it's more than just Marcus Davenport type.
Right.
Like Marcus Davenport signed a 1-year incentive-ridden contract. Zion Williamson, you'd have to give up a lot of your young pieces to bring here.
It'd work in 2K. I put him at a 2 in 2K.
It would definitely work in 2K. This is probably the chat of the day here so far. The only prime Zion is going to have is prime rib. Great point, John Hughes. Yeah,
Prime
that's
rib's
going to be
so good,
tough.
Oh, at Coonan, they did their spring festival over the weekend.
There's prime rib.
They had a smoker. They had lamb shanks and pork shanks, and they were out of lamb shanks. But I got a pork shank. That shit was so good, dude.
I'm ashamed to admit me. That could have convinced me this time. I just for future references.
It's all right. I'm not doing no convincing.
I'm
gonna be there regardless.
Yeah, the run 99 with you guys. Stretch 4 is where I'm at. Like, you need the spacing with Cade. That's exactly what you need around Cade.
I agree. I think a guy like Lauri Markkanen or even Naz Reid would be a better fit than Zion Williamson.
For sure.
Yeah.
We talked about Sabonis would be my dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's a stretch 5. Like, a good stretch 5. So, but we'll see. Again, I don't expect them to make a trade this summer. I think they want to see what this team looks like healthy and with another year of development. That's where I'm with Koo on that one.
China virus is Paul George. I love Paul George.
Paul George,
like, as a fan.
I don't think there's anybody more cooked in professional sports than Paul George.
No,
right now.
hard pass.
Yeah.
He's about as cooked as it gets.
Hard pass.
Would you say his teammate Joel Embiid is more cooked?
No.
No,
Maybe.
God, please, no.
Because Paul George played.
That's crazy.
Paul George
there's
played,
a debate on the
and
team.
he was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
he was playing. He was just bad. If Joel Embiid was playing, he wouldn't have been as bad as Paul George was.
That's true. That's fair.
I don't know.
Or Tyrese Maxey.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Hey, we cooked. Cam Johnson.
I'm not trying to do
I
an
think that
upgrade
ship
like
is
that.
sailed.
He got
as
a
well.
fat contract too. I'm
Did
good
get
on
a fat
pay.
contract, overpaid.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do a trade for a move like that.
fault.
You could get that level player in free agency
Maybe Bobby
for
Clipman turns
that
into
price or less.
Lowry Markkanen 2.0.
I think I saw some minutes from this year.
Laurie Markkanen, now that's a locker room
like
guy.
24 years old.
I would have liked to see Bobby getting some minutes.
Me too. Is it Bobby or Bobby?
Bobby. Bada boom, bada bing.
Bada boom, bada bang. My bad.
Best fit, Naz Reid. Naz Reid would be a good fit for sure. Take Kawhi over George? Absolutely, you take Kawhi over George. Kawhi is playing like one of the best players in the league till that last game. Nuggets. Russ, dude. Shout out Russell Westbrook. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be Mr. Fit, and obviously not in the physical way.
Look at that, dude. Look at those
I
stats.
gotta stay true to even when the conversation comes to a guy like Zion Williamson. If I'm gonna say about Ivy, I'm gonna keep it.
Aaron Judge is hitting 423 with a 1,200, almost 1,300 OPS, and about 12 at bats. Every 12 at bats, he hits a home run.
They've done that since.
God, it's insane.
I know.
When did Jackie Robinson come? 42.
42, I think. No, he's number.
He was
42.
number 42.
37.
I'm not sure when his first year was.
What are you about to say, Nick?
I don't even want to say it.
What?
Say it.
Fuck it, I'm saying it. Wyatt Langford has a 921 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best on the Tigers.
Absolutely would.
It was 1947, so that literally hasn't been done before blacks and Hispanics from the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's insane what Aaron Judge is doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Bregman 979 OPS.
Yankee Stadium is a sandbox for sure.
Done. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, Bregman would.
Bregman and Langford on this team, we would be
You're
the
winning
Dodgers.
the World Series.
Yeah, we'd be the Dodgers. Maybe better. Maybe.
Probably not, but
maybe not better than Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, probably
Oscar
not.
Hernandez,
yeah.
Kike Hernandez,
yeah.
They have so many players, dude. It's crazy.
But we have a good farm system.
We do have a good farm system.
And we have money to spend. Bregman wasn't him.
Got money.
All right, let's go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk Some Lions.
Lions?
Lions in the news.
Lions,
Whatever
baby.
you guys want. You let us know in the chat what you want to talk
tell us
about.
what you want us to talk about.
John
Brad Holmes.
Collins,
Did Brad
Ryan
Holmes
Marketing.
fail the Detroit Lions?
Did he?
First, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everybody can get a full body workout in 30 minutes. And all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15. Or you get the black card, get all the amenities, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Rax here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means. I'm going to be lit all summer long. Keep your eye out for the Mad Packs Minute on Woodward Sports social medias. They got high-low. They got the Boom Shakalaka. They got the Blizzard Packs, THCA Moon Rocks, all in select retailers right now. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports for all the latest updates. It's Mad Packs.
Mad Packs. Everybody, smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. I won't say another fucking word until you all press the like button. Right the fuck now! I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Welcome back. I saw another name in there. We've talked about this name before, too. It's Turner. I think Turner probably be my name to answer your question.
Miles Turner?
Miles Turner, the one.
I mean, that's a dream.
Amazing.
That's dream?
That's a dream.
I don't think there's any way the Pacers don't pay him a max, though.
Can they afford him?
Dude, they're up 1-0 on the Cavs. They might be Eastern Conference Finals bound.
No Garland last night, though.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think...
But it doesn't go against my narrative. Kenny Atkins, overrated.
I tried
Fuck
telling
him.
you guys the Cavs are not contenders for real.
But we've all said that. What do you
Somebody
mean?
put a picture of the Cavs roster with the 2012 Hawks roster. It was like that we tried to tell you, or whatever Hawks team that was #1 in the East.
It's literally. I mean, they got Donovan Mitchell, which is like
Donovan Mitchell's very
more
good.
of a starter than that the Hawks team had.
Absolutely, their #1 star was fucking Paul Millsap.
But the only thing that made me buy in a little bit was when they traded for Hunter. I'm like, okay, now you got a fuck ton of guys to go. But he got hurt
they have a
last
lot
night,
of
too.
wing defenders.
And Mobley hurt his ankle or some shit.
The riddle
not good. Is Halliburton the new fun guy to hate?
Yeah, he's annoying.
Yeah.
But he's good.
He's really good.
He does it to himself, man. You saw that video he
Super
posted
corny.
where he's called 50 Cent,
very corny.
Yeah.
Also a little fruity. Fruit tendencies. He's really good at basketball, though.
Yeah, he is.
Him
Indiana's a good team.
him and Miles Turner are such a good fit together. And then you saw what Nembran go off in that game. What did he have, 23 points or something?
Dude, they just have such a deep. They have 10, 11 deep that they'll go every single game. No problem.
We haven't even mentioned Pascal Siakam yet. It's a good team, man. It's a good team. And Halliburton does a really good job getting all those guys involved throughout the game.
They turned Obi Toppin into something.
Yeah, Obi Toppin's hitting dagger threes. What the fuck are we doing?
Jarris Walker was a prospect I actually liked, too. That's just cooking on the bench. This team is...
Baby stew.
Yeah, this team is tough.
All right. Lions, baby. You said Brad Holmes failed?
So says Austin Mock of The Athletic. He gave Brad Holmes an F for his draft grade in 2025.
Disgusting work.
F.
What was
For fun?
Did you read it or what?
Yeah, he said that even though he thinks these guys are going to be good fits, that they, which is wild to start it off by saying, yeah, they might all be good, but this is an F.
That is crazy.
He explained it was basically because they reached on Tesla and they gave up too much to do it. And that was the only thing he really pinpointed. He said they reached in all 3 of their top 70 picks were reaches. And the return they got for drafting Tesla was not worth what they gave up to get him.
I'm looking right now. He literally gave the Lions the worst grade. Well, tied.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
He
graded them the worst.
He had them as the last.
Yep.
The worst.
Yep. Lowest grade in the NFL.
That is ballsy, son. Let me tell you. I mean, Brad Holmes of all people.
He's gonna remember that.
It's ballsy to give a grade on a fresh draft to begin with. Like, I think everybody knows that, but some people have to do it. It's like it's part of the biz. Felt weird to say. Business. Part of the biz. No big deal. But an F? Come on. Brad ain't the one to play that game with. I wouldn't even say that. And I'm willing to say shit like that. That's if you had to, Spinny, a letter grade on the draft.
A B+. A-, B+.
A-,
Yeah.
B+. Wow.
I've really liked all their guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't like these picks. I said it before. I had Tyreek Williams as a top 3 defensive lineman in this draft. I think you can't argue top 5. So you can argue very comfortably top 4, but you can't argue top 5. You got a top 5 defensive tackle. I think you got the 3rd and 4th best interior offensive linemen in this draft in Tate Ratledge and Miles Frazier. You got a guy who's the biggest freak at wide receiver. And I talked about with Brad Holmes' philosophy when it comes to using third-round picks, he is so comfortable with his ability to get good NFL talent, guys that will play out full contracts, guys that will be maybe not stars every time, but contributors at the very least in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds, that he views the 3rd round as dispensable. He views the 3rd round as the place where you're going to move those picks to trade up to get somebody you really like, or you're going to take a swing on guys with super high potential but have a questionable bust probability as well. And I think he did both of those in a singular pick by trading those 3rd-round picks to move up to get a guy he really likes and using a 3rd-round pick on a guy that has extremely high potential, but some people don't see him as a home run pick in Isaac Tesla. So I think that Brad Holmes views, we all know he views his board much differently than Austin Mock or Mel Kiper or even you or myself. He has his own board. I really like the picks he got. I really like the guys he got. The only thing that I had criticism of was I do believe that he spent a little bit too much to move to get Isaac Tesla. But the pick there, the kid's a freak. You can't hate that pick. Like, you look at what he is and what he has the potential to be, especially in this offense, and you think of Brad Holmes' 3rd-round picks. Ali McNeil, Kirby Joseph, 2 that worked out big time on where you got them. 2 guys that would both probably be 1st-round picks if they redrafted those drafts right now. Kirby, absolutely. And then you have Broderick Martin and Giovanni Manu on the other side. Giovanni Manu obviously still has time in the chamber, and if you're putting a determining factor on whether he's good or not already, then you're stupid. But Broderick Martin, nothing burger. So this is what he does in the 3rd round. He either uses these picks to go get somebody he really likes, or he takes a swing on a guy with an insanely high upside. Because he is so confident in the talent and the caliber of player he can get in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, he feels the ability and the freedom to do that with his 3rd-round picks.
Breaking news, JB snubbed. Not the head coach of the year. I don't know who got it.
Probably
Kenny Atkinson.
Pistons get swept out of the NBA award race.
No awards.
But they were the story of the year, apparently.
Garbage. I was pissed about the Cade one for reasons obvious.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed about all of them. Like, we'll get back to football, but I'm pissed. I'm pissed because you can't just. That's just pandering. That's just pandering.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Pandering like for the attention.
Like, no, like the media. Like, don't just try to act like you're in love with this Detroit team all year, and then when it comes time to vote for them, you didn't vote for shit. You voted for all the other teams.
Yeah, the greatest turnaround from one year to another in the history of the NBA was not good enough.
No one's ever tripled their win total from the previous season ever in
season
NBA
award.
history. That's tripled the win total. And the main thing that changed, JB Bickerstaff. Yeah, you got Tobias. That's an aging.
Malik helped. Maybe you should have made him 6th man of the year. I think that is the one.
Like, somebody had to be
the most.
Yeah.
Three.
It's one of the two. It's Malik or JB. I believe it's Malik Beasley because the Pistons would not have won as many games, not even close to as many games as they did in the regular season without. I think Jeff Teague said it like this, and it was 100% accurate. The Pistons wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have been the same team that they were without Malik Beasley. The Celtics would have been the same team they were without Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, I'm with Stick Socks and World Sports Chat. Cade's too good to win, it might be.
Cade, that one I didn't really care about.
But if you had a bet out there, I get it.
But he was a top, what would you say, top 25 player and then into a top 10 player, and he was like minus like 300 at one point. Like,
but the numbers were always there.
But that's the hardest.
He only went up like 2.5, 3 points per game, an assist and a half, and a rebound. It's not like
the hardest
he went
hill
from
to climb,
15
though.
to 25.
That's the hardest hill to climb, though. It's kind of like just sports in a nutshell. It's like from being good to being a great player. That's the hardest one to climb. And obviously, Dyson ended up getting 12 more minutes a game. He was a very improved player. Don't get me wrong. I hated playing against him. He looked great when he played the Pistons. But I just think to get into that top 10 solidified Cade Cunningham in my eyes, like I think that's harder to do.
I think Dyson Daniel turned into basically nothing to an extremely valuable player in the NBA. Cade Cunningham was already an extremely valuable player in the NBA.
Wow. He was ranked behind Herb Jones.
Yeah, he just put that level up. Yeah, the rookie of the year is more of a robbery than most improved player in Cade's career.
Yes. But that's part of the reason why. Look, I'm going back to Coach of the Year. That's the one that I'm pissed at, and you know how I feel about Executive of the Year. If you have Coach of the Year finalists and Sixth Man of the Year finalists, then you should definitely be Executive of the Year finalist or winner. But Coach of the Year, dude, this guy, Kenny Atkinson, has 3 All-Stars. 3 All-Stars improved by less wins than J.B. Bickerstaff and might be home just 1 week after the Detroit Pistons. Like, come on, dude. Like, if this Cavs team loses in the second round, that looks embarrassing. That looks absolutely embarrassing. It already looks embarrassing that, like you said, the greatest turnaround in franchise history, one of the greatest turnarounds in NBA history, and yet you do not receive an award for that. That's already egregious. Now you pick it for a team that is already stacked, that had continuity, and 3 All-Stars, and they might get sent home a week later as favorites in a series. That's your Coach of the Year? Come on, man. Come on. I'm done with this shit. Like I said, it's all pandering. It's all pandering.
It really is. The Atkinson one never made sense to me at any point. That team didn't improve much from outside of even being healthy. Like, that'd be the biggest thing for me versus Atkinson taking over. Atkinson.
Garland had injuries last year. You know what I mean? Like, it was like...
They all did.
Yeah.
Mitchell had injury. Yeah.
This Cavs team, man, like... And again, continuity is something too. When a team stays together versus all these teams always flipping stars, majorly overhauling their rosters every summer, like sometimes if you're just a team that stays together, you'll grow up just by having that chemistry. So like that was part of the advantage. I'm not trying to undercut. He did a good job, but like he did not do anywhere near what JP Bickerstaff did. Put that man in Detroit. And let's see how many wins his team has. Like I don't know. JB established a whole culture, like more than just turning around these individual players.
Exactly.
He built a culture. Kenny Atkinson walked into a good program. I don't get it, man. It's like you inherited a top tier college program, and you improved it by 2-3 wins. Like congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it coming, but it's fucking annoying.
Trash, disrespected. What the else is new? Yeah, I mean, it's a joke.
Honestly.
Yeah. I know we weren't on the show. Did we get a video? Did you guys hear about Brunson and Hart talking about the playoff atmosphere at LCA? Did you guys see that one at all?
I didn't see. No.
I'm gonna try to grab it real quick. We had it on our socials, but they were hyping up LCA like crazy.
So me and my nephew, when Jerry, we were there, and they're booing Brunson every time he touched the ball.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted him to stop. Like I felt like my man was fueling my man.
Yeah.
And I remember Thibodeau said it, and you have to as a coach, but like Thibodeau's like, no, those are cheers for him. That gets him. Some people are like that. He was clearly like that.
I mean,
just leave him alone.
Flopper.
I love the floppers.
Yeah.
But every time he touched the ball, the boos. bro. That's like all right. I'm gonna fuck you.
Look, I think regardless, he was
I
going
don't
to
think
come
it's ever
in
worked in
and
the history of NBA. By the way, booing the guy as soon as he touched the ball.
I
get it in the LeBron sense because fuck you left us, but like there was no personal shit with Brunson. I don't know.
I just kept trying to rework that Drake bar in 8 a.m. in Charlotte where he's like, "You not Kobe to us at all." Like I just kept trying to rework that to Jalen Brunson. Like he's not that, but Game 6 he was, man. That's what a superstar does. When the series is on the line, you go in the opposing house and you take it. That's crazy, man. Like,
let's go to break. We'll come back.
Michael DeVries. The NBA has always been a country club, and Detroit has been getting denied membership ever since I can remember.
That's exactly why you got to go take it.
Even though we're the first ones to fly private, tell your friends, huh?
That's why you got to go take it.
What a bar.
Nobody's going to give it to you. Pause. Let me tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Make sure you scan that QR code above my head. Use promo code Woodward1000, and your first bet up to $1,000 will be risk-free, meaning if you don't hit it, you'll get it back in bonus bets. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to Whatever Waits Live at WoodsportsCom. I'm Eazy, joined by Spin Raxter
Live.
Chris. Nicholas Cole.
Live Monday through Friday, 5-7 Woodward Sports.
Did you find that video? I'll look for it too. But yeah, sorry for interrupting the Lions segment, John Hughes. It just
have to
regrinded my gears.
Got to talk about it.
Yeah, I was so mad I couldn't talk about it. There was not a single person that did a better coaching job than JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, this is egregious. It truly is. Like the Cade Cunningham MIP one, we both said that.
Yeah, too good.
Whatever. The Malik Beasley one, I think he should have won that 100%. But JB Bickerstaff not being named the NBA Coach of the Year is just absolute buffoonery. He took over a 14-win team. Was the first team in the history of the NBA to triple their win total. He had to, like Chris said, establish a culture here in Detroit. They were moving on from terrorist Monty Williams. You had a superstar in the making that you didn't know what he was going to be next year because of the injury. You had a lot of different moving pieces. He came in here day one immediately and established a culture. We remember our guy Eric saying you could feel it in his press conference that it was different. This is a guy that took this team and made them a 6th seed, and what Kenny Atkinson did was take over a culture that JB Bickerstaff built in Cleveland. He literally took the team that JB built and the culture JB established and pushed them to what they are now. JB did it again in Detroit. He took them from a 14-win team to the 6th seed. That has never happened. What they did, tripling their win total, has never happened before in the NBA. It's just ridiculous that you did not make this guy Coach of the Year. There's nothing anybody can say that can convince me that what Kenny Atkinson did in Cleveland was more impressive than what JB Bickerstaff did in Detroit. You can't.
It was the Eagles that tried to trade him with the Lions. I guess there's a video about it now. Lunchbox got it. Hopefully you can send it to me. But yeah. there's not much more to say than everything you said. Like it's kind of gross when you put it out that way. The fact that the guy who won the award was the guy taking over the team for the guy that deserved it.
It was his team. It was his culture. He just walked in there and said, "Hey guys, remember what JB was doing? Let's keep doing that."
Did David Blatt win it? Didn't he win it that year?
I believe so.
In 2013?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's LeBron's.
That was LeBron's Coach of the Year award.
LeBron's Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
He just literally walked in, inherited a great team. Like,
Remember when LeBron in the
gross,
playoffs
man.
said, "Fuck that, this is the play we're doing"? Remember?
I do. Remember.
That was Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year.
Crazy enough, the Coach of the Year never coached again in the NBA after that.
Yeah. I mean, look, these media voters, man, I really, really don't like them. And now it's amplified because you know what? Now the Detroit Pistons matter. Now they're a relevant story. Now they're a franchise that's worth paying attention to. For the last few years when they were the bottom of the NBA, yeah, I could get upset about these awards and how they vote and how they change their votes. Oh, this year the MVP means this. This year the MVP means that. And switching to fit whatever narrative they want to build. But now that the Pistons are at stake, now that the Pistons are here and they matter, this is bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit that you can just give JB Bickerstaff's Coach of the Year award to his former team, which again had all that talent, 3 All-Stars. What did the Pistons have? The Pistons didn't have an All-Star coming into this season in terms of roster, and then grew one in Decade, and that's it. That was it. Nobody else was making. You didn't see no Jalen Duren campaigns. You didn't see no Asar Thompson campaigns. Like this team was a bunch of role players that bought in, and JB Bickerstaff said so from day one. His press conference, he said in March, "You're going to see Detroit basketball." And guess what you did? You saw Detroit basketball. You saw a style that is so different from everybody else in the NBA and successful. Don't you think that's a bit harder to do than to walk into a team with 3 All-Stars, maybe 4 because of Jared Allen, depending on how you feel about him, and win a couple more games? It's like you walked into that college program that was already built, that just needed a new voice.
Yeah,
That's it.
JB Bickerstaff received 31 first-place votes. Kenny Atkinson received 59.
That's so fucking stupid.
And then Ime Udoka had 7.
He actually, that's a guy that I could see. Ime Udoka's a
Tyronn
dog.
Lue had 1. And
Taking those guys 2 seed.
Mark
they're super
Daigneault
talented,
had
but
2.
That's
JB Bickerstaff finished with 31 first-place votes.
By the way,
44 second-place votes and 18 third-place votes, giving him 305 total points. While Kenny Atkinson had 59, 33, and 7, giving him 401 total points.
Kevin Jarvis in the Woodward Sports Chat trying to correlate me saying the Detroit Pistons weren't good enough to win that playoff series to a regular season award. There's no relation in that.
No relation
whatsoever.
It is about the regular season.
You are lacking context, buddy.
What are we doing, Bubba?
The biggest differential in NBA history. Like what
Never
are we
happened
doing?
before.
Yeah.
Never happened.
And technically
And like
did,
Chris
but
said, he
not
had to
in the full
establish
season.
a whole culture. It wasn't just, hey, here are the keys to the Ferrari. Don't crash it. It was, hey, here's this piece of shit Civic. You got to tune that bitch up. And he turned it into a fucking Aston Martin. Like,
Yeah, and your second best player got hurt for the year. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
New
Just
faces
another
and new
reason.
places. New guys. He realized that what Monty Williams was doing was terrorism by having Isaiah Stewart try to be a stretch 4, and he turned him into the best backup center in the NBA.
Who also should have been a candidate, but because of a BS rule.
Yeah,
So like
because the minutes
what more does a coach have to do than to put multiple players in position to win awards? What else does a coach have to do?
It's all right. Give these
It's
guys.
Detroit, we're used to it, man.
Give these guys a chip
I
on
know,
their shoulder.
but
This one felt fucking clear as day right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's all.
And knowing who JB is and how hard he's grinded his resume, the way he's built himself up, this was his year. He's never going to get a Coach of the Year opportunity look again. He's never going to get that. This was his year. This was his moment. And for him to be robbed, I feel incredibly sympathetic to JB Bickerstaff because hats off to you. We talked about the playoff stuff. That's that aside. What you did in the regular season, what you did for this franchise has to be commended and respected. And he deserved it, man. He absolutely deserved it.
He did.
I don't see
him and Malik Beasley got hosed for sure. But let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll do some mailbag. Nick, tell us about Loom.
Loom Cannabis Dispensary. Make sure you guys check it out. Spring is in the air and Michigan is buzzing. 7.5 milligram of real THC wrapped in bubbles. Crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners. They're big in flavor but low in calories and 100% hangover free. It's all bubbles with no troubles. Catch it in watermelon, cherry, strawberry, or try one of the 2 brand new flavors, raspberry lemonade and peach. Crack a can, take a sip, and catch a buzz. Available at any of Loom's 38 locations across Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order. That is code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order online or in store. Go to www.loom.com today.
The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Les Stanford Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Order the Waits Live, WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, joined by some more reaction. Chris, Nicholas, Kohloff. Smash the like button. Smash, fucking, dear God, smash the like button. And let's get into a mailbag segment. And we mean it this time. I saw your comment, Ronan99. Mailbag, does Glasgow get cut because of the money? I think he's in the conversation for sure.
I don't think they
will.
But
I don't think it happens simply because who is your backup center right now? And to be honest with you, it's such a if it's predicated off what we did last year and everything's turnkey, that's a very complicated run system. I don't know if you guys remember, like 2 years ago, however long ago it is now, there was defensive coordinators who contribute to an athletic article. Was like, you can't stop their run because nobody does what they do in terms of switching the scheme in the game that often. From zone schemes to powers to gaps, no one else does in the league. It's too complicated to teach guys. I can't see a rookie stepping in and getting that right away. So I think there's a chance in competition he wins it. I think as the year goes on, I can see a Ratledge taking over at that point. Maybe even in camp it could happen too, because Georgia's a pro-style program too. But I think he has an opportunity to win the job. I think he can win the job.
I think he's the favorite to win the job.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to move on from Graham unless something insane happens with both of these young guys that they just drafted. They like Graham. They like his versatility. They like his leadership and his ability to play every position on that interior offensive line is something that is undeniably important for this coaching staff. So, I would be surprised if they cut him. But also, like you said, his contract and what he's getting paid makes it not unrealistic, but what do they say in Mythbusters? It's like improbable, but not impossible.
Nick? Sorry, I was playing in the chat.
Graham getting cut?
Yeah, you think he gets cut?
No. I think it's way too valuable. I think the two guys, Mahogany and obviously Rutledge, are way too inexperienced to be cutting a guy like Graham Glasgow that can fill in that spot. They could be more talented than Graham, but I just think with that experience, if you get down to a playoff game, one guy goes out, Graham's a guy that you are going to want in there, and obviously, we all think that he was banged up in that Commanders game when he had the worst game of his career.
What are the? I guess we'll save it for tomorrow. I guess training camp battles maybe. Off-season topics, man. We're gonna have that. We're gonna revisit that conversation 5 times throughout the offseason.
Mailbag. What did you guys from Daryl Slaughter? What did you guys think about Brunson and Hart's comments about the LCA crowd?
So we didn't hear him.
Yeah, I didn't see what they said. I heard him talking about the foul baiting stuff from Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, Josh Hart's a bit of a troll. If he were in Detroit, we'd like him. Yeah, but he's not, so we don't.
He's a bitch.
He's a dirtbag, straight up. But yeah, him talking shit about the Tim Hardaway foul baiting situation. He blamed the no call on Tim Hardaway foul baiting, even though he knows on a podcast.
He's a heel.
That's fine. That's fine. Keep focusing on Detroit. Ignore Boston. Ignore Boston, the team that's about to kick your ass.
Yeah, they're about to sweep them.
You think so?
Boston in 3.
Clean sweep? No, Boston in 3.
Unless, I don't know, I got this weird thing with Tatum missing a game here. I've heard things about KP being.
And Brunson's on another fucking level right
Tatum's
now.
Average,
I can't lie.
Tatum averaged 40 or 34 points per game against the Knicks this year.
But he's banged up too.
They've hit a bunch of threes on him this year. Porzingis is eating the Knicks alive this year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Knicks in 3.
I'm just Knicks in 3. Whoa, no, I don't know. I would tend to think that the Celtics are also sweeping the Knicks, but I don't know. There seems to be this weird kind of vibe going on in Boston right now that the team's kind of on edge, as far as health and everything like that. So if that's the case, if Boston's not Boston, then New York maybe has a shot to win a game or two, but. If Boston is Boston, this team is out of here. The Knicks stand no chance in that series, and they'll be awaiting the Pacers
Boston this year, though, in the playoffs at least. Mailbag. What defensive end would you guys sign? Not named Zadarius Smith.
Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
So when I do this stuff, I actually I'll try to go off of what I think would happen. Matthew Judon.
No.
Von Miller.
No.
They brought in that one guy from Chicago, something Walker.
No, yeah. He's more likely than Judon or Miller because of his size.
Yeah, I was going to say, how big is Judon?
Not big.
He's a big guy, isn't he?
Not really.
You looking it up right now?
Yeah.
I'm quite cursed. My computer's frozen. So
6'3", 260. So not small.
Tweener?
Now that we've kind of beat that post-draft window, when do you kind of really expect things with Zadarius Smith to happen, if at all?
Training camp.
Training camp?
Yeah.
So now this is just all summer. We're just going to
he's being smart. They're playing
Orlando
it.
Brown with a blonde wig on.
I just missed it. They're playing it smart. They're going to wait until a team needs an edge rusher or somebody goes down in camp, and then that way he is the A side of the deal. Hey, you need me.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much I want. That's what we're going to wait for. And you skip the offseason programs, all the necessary shit that you don't necessarily want to do as a veteran, like the offseason workouts and stuff like that. He's going to wait until somebody needs him in training camp. And probably second week of training camp.
Bring Judon home. He is a Grand Valley guy.
I'm not opposed. MPW says Boston in 6.
Boston in 6. Yeah, dude. Shout out Miko Rantanen. He went crazy. Did you watch that game?
No, dude. I didn't even know it was on. I fell asleep
last night. He had a hat trick in the 3rd period.
I'm so out.
I woke up to
playoffs
the Warriors game.
That game was awesome, dude.
Have you guys fished recently?
That game last night was awesome
Like,
too.
like
Double
fish.
over.
Yeah.
Game 7 going to double OT.
Like
No,
fishing?
no.
I don't know. My boy just texted me for his birthday. He's thinking about just like everybody gets a fishing license and like we go like rent this spot, like
Sounds
do
awful.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fishing
I would
guy.
like to. I'd go fishing. I'm not trying to get a fishing license.
I'm locking a triple.
I think
tonight
you
for
have
my
to,
first
though, right?
appearance in softball. Locking a
Just don't
triple.
get caught.
Yeah, don't get caught.
Fair.
We did one time. Me and my dad growing up.
Oh, should I buzz off?
We had a fucking 2
Tonight?
buckets of smelt, and we got stopped by the DNR. We were fucking clean.
I love smelt.
Smelt dipping.
Smelt is good.
The first one you catch, you got to bite the head off. You know what?
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Sounds dope. Kick back some drinks though.
I thought they fucked with me. I did it.
Sounds
Tastes like
good.
watermelon.
Not too many, Chris. Gotta have a sober driver.
I do. You know what? I like ice fishing. I don't know why.
Never been ice fishing.
Ice fishing is kind of cool. You
Oh, I
can
heard ice
drill the
fishing.
holes,
I
you can, like see them come by.
Fishing.
All right, that'll do it for us
something.
today. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button for Easy, Nick, Chris. I'm Spenny. We're the heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time. Peace.